adjust. We're seeing a Phoenix first here from Trap, just to try and deny a little bit of Overlord vision, keep everything away from his main. And Serral at the moment, everything looks hunky-dory and normal, just Ling speed expansion. Usually about the time when you start thinking about a Roach Warren.
Yeah, it looks like Trap, he completes his wall. Kind of looks like a wall I would make. Pretty hideous looking, but safe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, technically it is safe.
Yeah, technically it's safe.
It's a shield battery plugging in one of the holes here.
I was wondering, though, if maybe he could get that Cyber Core all the way at his third base. Does that one block the Nexus, or...?
Oh my god, yeah. I wanted to say Roddy Wall, but he's not here to defend himself, so...
well, he's also upgrading Warp Gate, which, you know, it's pointless.
Yeah, it's already pretty weird. You know, there's only one Stargate here from Trap as well, which is also super strange.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, so the first Oracle and Phoenix heading across the map here, looking for some drone damage, could potentially lift up that Queen and try and get into that drone line and find some openings, but we are seeing a Robo go down here from Trap as the second Oracle is still in production. And Serral still relying on just Lings and Queens in the early stages of the game. A lot of the time, Zerg will get that Roach Warren almost blindly because they're afraid of things like, you know, Archon follow-ups or, you know, early gateway attacks. But this time, he's getting a few drones here.
Not bad.
Very nice, yeah.
I guess only 3, but 3 is really reasonable for your first Oracle. Finds the way in, finds the place with no defense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as long as your Oracle lives, any damage is good, as long as it can come back later.
Yeah, yeah. All right, a couple more gates on the way. Of course, that Robo going to be finishing up as well. Sentries being created.
Oh, nice adept shade here from Trap. An undefended third base. And he gets a couple drone kills, nearly 3 there. Going into that natural. The Queen's still not really chasing down these adepts or offering any extra DPS. And looks like Serral's actually letting these adepts kind of run circles around him here.
Oh my god, he's actually getting way more damage than you normally get with these 2 adepts. 7 kills? 7?
That's insane. That's not meant to happen ever.
No.
Like even Serral is the best Zerg in the whole world, and that's definitely not meant to happen even to someone that's a few levels below him. So that is a very, very nice adept harassment there from Trap, and there are those 3 oracles that we were sort of expecting here. And you know what? The econ damage in the early stages of the game is already pretty good. These 3 oracles potentially could even make it worse here for Serral, but the Queens, really nice positioning from Serral. This time he defends quite nicely.
Yeah, that was some great zoning there. One of the Oracles so low, so he's got to be careful about that. A little bit of Ling counterattacking. Doesn't really get anything done for now. But Trap, you know, he's making a lot of units. He started the 3rd Nexus. I'm not sure how many probes we're going to see there, because this looks like it could be an attack coming out soon. Yeah,
a lot of gateways are on the way. We're seeing a War Prism here, which does mean he wants to get aggressive. Already has a couple Immortals, and, you know, what? Trap.
What is that, though?
Looks like he's microing these Oracles. Unfortunately, he's losing 1 or 2 of them. Yes, he's killing a lot of drones, but losing an Immortal would actually really take a lot of the wind out of the sails of this push. Oh, man. That's a bit of a blunder for Trap.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Serral isn't exactly playing super cleanly either. He's lost a lot of drones in this game. Yes, he's on 56 drones, but keep in mind that's a lot of lava. There isn't units right now, and he desperately needs to make some, as Trap is coming across the map with a very anti-Roach army.
Yeah, that is a lot of Stalkers warped in as well. He's got to really close up this wall, I would say. A little in counterattack, not going to get too much done here.
Serral's bringing those Lings around the other side here. You might need everything on deck to try and slow down Trap's attack, which really looks so scary. You want to be up a little bit in army supply at this point, and Serral is down at the moment.
Yeah, and I tell you what, though, if he can hold it, he already got that 1 Immortal, so that is big. Now, great force fields coming down, trying to pick off that 1 Queen with a lot of energy. Looks like he will end up getting it here in a second, and the Ravagers just removing these force fields very quickly.
He's using all the vials here to try and get rid of force fields rather than trying to land them on mobile units. He even actually gets a nice connection there in the end. Really nice usage of the Ravager here for Serral, and not really a whole lot of energy left on this army for Trap, so he does need to pull back to the edges of the creep here.
Well, let's not forget, he used 3 force fields to not save an Immortal earlier on, so that definitely hurt him.
Prism!
Oh, the Prism goes down.
That is a lovely pick off there. No more reinforcements for Trap. Serral does start to look like it has a convincing army now. And this is another one of those how did he hold moments, but Serral really does hold very nicely.
Well, I tell you, Trap has to be kicking himself right now for letting that Immortal rally out and get killed by Zerglings, because this is a rough situation. He gets that last Queen. I'm kind of surprised he's still fighting it this hard, because this is a situation where you might end up losing your army if Serral continues to produce.
You're off creep. You know that there's not going to be a War Prism for a while, so you know why not just pull back to the creep, get a few more units, maybe get another creep tumor or 2 down here with whatever Queens are remaining. Doesn't look like Serral has many Queens remaining as I say that. The Spire is halfway done here, so it's like he's really potentially respecting this like very anti-ground army of Trap and trying to get some Mutalisks in here to pick off a War Prism or some of those high-quality targets, even crack Hardened Shield on the Immortals. sometimes, Mutalisk Glaives, or even just force Trap to have to do something about his probes. Speaking of which, nice run by here with the Lings.
All right, starting to move in right now. He does have a Prism up on the way. This is really just a damage output army here for Trap. He's going quite all in at this point. Really needs to get that damage done. Oh, a Sentry falls right away. Good splits, though, dodging a lot of these Biles.
And some of those Biles are being split between the army here and also getting rid of those force fields. Really efficient usage of the Biles here for Serral. He's tucking those Ravagers back. Another Immortal caught here by the Lings.
Oh, absolutely brutal. And it looks like he loses his Prism again.
God. A few mistakes here from Trap, maybe feeling a little bit frazzled. Serral not usually one to make too many mistakes himself, although the early game he certainly had a couple with the drone defense, but he is holding on so strong. This kid just doesn't seem to lose engagement, Sartosis.
No, I don't know how he does it either, because a lot of things went wrong for him early on, but kid's got snake's blood, man. He's just not dying.
Tiger blood. This kid. And then now the Mutalisks are on the way, which means the Prism stuff is really not as effective anymore. The Mutalisks can chase down the Warp Prism, and now they're going to come across the map, and with these Mutas, you can even just put on a lot of probe hurt. Like I said, Hardened Shield and the Immortal. There are a lot of Stalkers here, so obviously you don't want to have them as a fighting unit, but it's such a thorn in the side of the Protoss to just have to deal with them.
Well, you have no real mobility here as Trap. What are you going to do? Walk these Stalkers that don't have Blink up to the main base when the Mutas hit there? Oh, don't worry, he's making a Phoenix. But this is looking really rough. That is a lot of Ravagers.
It certainly is. Serral is having second thoughts about attacking up at this position, just getting rid of whatever he can from the Protoss in the outskirts. Serral has a nicely placed Overseer here, seeing that there isn't a whole lot of defense in the main. As these Mutalisks come knocking. That one Phoenix has got a job to do.
Well, he's going to pull back for now. He is getting that Baneling Nest, which I really love. If you're going to force Stalkers out of your opponent, it's great to go Speed Banes with that. He's actually fighting some of the Stalkers here.
Well, I mean, he's not exactly losing the battle, so why not? He actually has a lot more Mutalisks on the way as well, so he's identified, oh, Trap's really unprepared for this. I'm going to make him, I'm going to really punish him for that. And I like the Disruptor play from Trap, like he is a bit behind right now, and it's a very Hail Mary unit. If he gets a very nice Disruptor Nova or two, it looks like maybe double Robotics Disruptor, he could potentially erase the ground army of Serral, but these Mutalisks are really a problem right now. He only has a single Stargate.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to Chrono Boost out some of these Phoenixes. Maybe he can get up to that critical mass to hold back the Mutas, but Serral definitely in charge of this game right now. Look at that difference in supply.
Yeah, pretty huge difference there. No upgrades for Trap really on the air or ground army. And this just looks a little dire on paper here for Trap. He's going to have to hold very, very cleanly here if he wants to get map number 1. Oh man, this attack from Serral just looks too good, Artosis. Bile zoning Trap back. He launches one of those Novas, and that was pretty, like any splash damage here is his only way to try and hold on, and it does not look good.
No, this looks like he is going to end up falling. I mean, the Muta's dealing massive amounts of damage in the back right there. The Bile's coming down. The probes are starting to fall. Everything going Serral's way at this point.
Yeah, he's just dancing through the natural drive-by in the main base as well as he starts to kill more and more probes. Trap's economy in complete shambles and his army pretty in shambles as well. Still making disruptors, and I like that. You know, anything you can do to try and come back on the ground, but the air looks really lost here.
Well, look, Serral just keeps making Mutas. He's not afraid of these at all, man. No, nor should he be. With no Fleet Beacon, you're not really able to out-micro this many Mutas.
Certainly not. And there's a couple pylons here powering that Stargate, and that's really his like consistent anti-Mutalisk production facility here. So one of those pylons is about to go down. There's only one more powering it now. Actually, no, that was it. I thought that one to the north of Nexus was in range, but apparently not. So that's terrible for Trap, obviously.
Oh my gosh, the Muta's just killing all the anti-air. Heads up. The rest of the army going towards the third base right now as well.
Pretty decent control from Serral, keeping those hurt Mutas at the back. And the 1-2 punches with that big ground army here in the natural. The Disruptor's launching out some Novas here. He's getting some connections. Serral's army on the ground looks like it is being pushed back, but